everybody. Welcome. Thanks for coming to tonight's Talk Tuesday. We are honored to welcome guest speaker Elise Padilla and her various assistants helping out with tonight's talk, and a little something extra afterwards if you care to join us. But they will be sharing on the topic sacred medicine, traditional healing in New Mexico. So they will be sharing with us their take on the history and their knowledge of traditional healing and remedios and those various practices in New Mexico. And it's very, sorry, I got nervous all of a sudden. And as we all know, certainly if you've been to Curanderismo before, if you're a volunteer or familiar with our history, it's a very important part of that history and practice that still continues today. So without further ado, my favorite saying at these things, please welcome Elise Padilla.
Thank you so much, everyone. I am so humbled and honored to be here. It was about a year ago that I first met Annie because she was doing this talk, and let me tell you, she did fantastic. It was beautiful. And then afterwards, I went and introduced myself, and I told her I practice traditional medicine in New Mexico, and she went white as a sheet. And she said, why didn't you tell me I was going through this whole session, and you probably knew more than I did? But she did beautifully. I had zero corrections for anything that she did. So she totally held the space, and so I know that if I have to go be around the world, Annie can carry this too. She knows the work. So, but thank you so much. How is my voice? Would you like me to use a microphone?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, but once you give me the microphone.
You guys are in for it now.
Yeah. I don't want to be like too strong with it. Use my Hulk strength.
And you know to keep it pretty close.
Okay.
It's like a finger's length away. Should be on.
Is it on
Ready
already?
to go.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Testing. I can hear it. Great.
Does that sound okay, everybody?
How is that? Good? You can hear me? Okay, I came to sing to you all today, and it is not my gift, but you're going to deal with it. I'm just joking. I'm joking. But when you have a microphone, like, why don't you sing? But we'll talk about other things instead. So thank you all again so much for being here. I really appreciate it. This is an opportunity for me to share my ancestral and traditional medicine as it's been taught to me. And I brought some amazing partners of mine, some comadres, some friends that are going to be here to help me answer questions afterwards. So please, start thinking about things, cultivate, and I would love to hear your experiences with some of the things that I discussed today. But first and foremost, this is sacred medicine, this is sacred land, and this is a sacred tradition that we begin when we come into places together. So if I can ask you all to humbly join me, we're going to call in the 7 directions in the way that we open ceremony within our spiritual practice. So if you can rise to your feet, I call it the sacred hokey pokey. Can I hand this to you really quick, just like with my popcorn? Okay. Now we can start passing them out now. Okay. Thank you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to follow along with me, and what we do is we honor the 7 sacred directions to ask for their protection, for their guidance, and their support in being here with us today, for our protection when we leave this place today, but also just to show reverence that we're here in this moment being mindful of the medicine that we have around us and the elements that have been given to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the east, and I had somebody check for me. That is north, so that would be east. I'm from Albuquerque, you all. My mountains are messed up. East. Yes. And what we're going to do is we're going to look to the east. And what I'm going to do is offer a prayer to the east. I'm going to offer the smoke of the copal, the sound of the rattle, the beating of the drum. And so if you would like to join me, Alondra is going to pass out some noisemakers that are available so that you can, at that time when I call forward, you can use that as well. You can also use your voice. You can clap your hand. However you feel like sending reverence to these directions. And then I will ask you to follow me as we spin around. Okay? And so it's just opening up your heart, opening up your mind, calling in whatever your inner and higher power may be. So I'll start with the east, and then Angelique, I'll pass it to you, and I'll move around with Popishkome. Okay? All right. To the east, Quetzalcoatl, to our beautiful mountains and to where the sun rises. To the east, I honor you for the new beginnings that you bring us, reminding us that no matter how dark the night that we come through, there is always a new beginning in the morning, a new chapter, a new opportunity. So to where the place always becomes the opportunity to start anew, I honor you, the east Quetzalcoatl, and to all that honor us in this direction. I offer you the smoke of the copal, the sound of the rattle, the beating of the drum, and the song of the caracol. O Mateo.
Oh, Mateo.
And O Mateo to us is honoring a duality. You can say it if you would like. I'll explain it in a little bit. Now we're going to go following our right shoulder in a circle until we come to the west.
The west, Siwagama, the place of the setting sun, the place of our ancestors. We remember in the west direction that just like the leaves do in the fall, it is time for us to let go of the things that no longer serve us. May we remember to call in the things that we need and let go of the things that we no longer need. O Mateo.
O Mateo.
We'll follow our right shoulder in a circle, bringing ourselves to the south direction.
It's north, south.
It's just good.
Creator, we ask that you let us join the sacred air of Huitznapla, the south direction. We ask that you help us all remember self-love, find that sweetness of the hummingbird, and find the joy in our lives. We ask that you let us join the sacred air by allowing our voices to rise, these teachings, and to let the sound of our rattles and our drums and our noisemakers rise to you to honor you. We honor you. O Mateo.
O Mateo.
O Mateo. Again, following your right shoulder. We turn to the north direction. North, Miglampa. The place of the Black Tezcatlipoca where we take a look at our inner selves, where we find rest, where we spend time with our ancestors, getting ready and releasing the things that we need to, so that we may enter into the gift. Help us to find the time to rest, to remember the importance of rest in our lives. O Mateo.
O Mateo.
Again, following ourselves in a circle all the way around, coming to the center. You look up to Father Sky.
Father Sky, Omikayon, we thank you for the beautiful rain you've given us lately. We thank you for sun, all the beautiful things, the stars. We ask for perspective as high as the cosmos. We thank you for everything you give to us on a daily basis and your beautiful full moon magic. We honor you. O Mateo.
O Mateo. We come down to the ground as your ability allows you. Madre Tierra, the land that we walk on, we honor you. We apologize to you for the damage that we do. We remember the ancestors, especially of this land, that walked here before us. Help us to honor them by honoring you now in the way that we take care of you, in the way that you take care of us. O Mateo.
Oh, Mateo.
Okay, coming up as you're able. We're not all spring chickens anymore. And so now coming to a direction that is within ourselves. So crossing your arms over your heart, we come to our corazón. Corazón, thank you so much for all that you've done, for consistently beating when I thought there were no beats to be had. Thank you for guiding me, for supporting me, to let me know that I do have a purpose, that I do have a light, and that there are other corazones around me who are willing to share in this love and this light and the power of the medicine. Thank you, my corazón, for connecting me to divinity, but also thank you, corazón, for connecting me to every heart in this place today. I honor it, I appreciate it, and with much love, I say, O Mateo.
Oh, Mateo.
Thank you. Do you want to do your song now?
Sure.
Okay. We have another special gift. Song is part of the medicine that we give. It is the wind. It is the power of the vibration. And so we have beautiful song that we're ready to share with you today. Thank you so much.
Me dicen la curandera porque danza con la luna, sana con las plantas y mece con mi madre una, cura y cura y cura. Me dicen la curandera porque rezo con tabaco, confío en el gran espíritu, con el cóndor vuelo alto, cura y cura y cura. Y le pido a mi madrecita tierra sana nuestros cuerpos, con tu medicina cura lo que lleva dentro, cura y cura y cura, cura y cura y cura, cura y cura y cura, cura y cura y cura. Me dicen la curandera porque escucho a las abuelas. Me guío con las estrellas y la vida es mi escuela, cura y cura y cura. Me dicen la curandera porque sana con rituales, ahumo con copales, cura todos los males, cura y cura y cura. Y le pido a mi madrecita tierra sana nuestros cuerpos, con tu medicina cura lo que lleva dentro, cura y cura y cura, cura y cura y cura, cura y cura y cura, cura y cura y cura. Curandera, curanderita, mamacita, pachamama, a todos mis hermanas se sanan nuestras aguas.
Oh, Mateo.
Oh, Mateo. Thank you so much. Okay, you can be seated. Thank you so much. You all got your cardio for the day. She'll come around. All right. Annie, how is the smoke? I'm not going to add any more of anything, but I'm going to put her here. Okay. All right. So we see the power in song. We hear it. Just feeling that and being a part of it. Of anybody here that has experienced traditional medicine, whatever your lineage may be, do you remember a grandmother or a mother singing over you? Being in those times when maybe your stomach was hurting so much. I remember I stayed at my grandmother's for spring break when I was little, and my separation anxiety from my mama was so intense. And I just remember her laying with me and rubbing my hair and singing to me. I don't even remember the songs, but they were the medicine that my soul needed. And those are the ways that we're here to talk to you about curanderismo, traditional healing in the New Mexico sense, where it comes from, how it came to be, and how it's carried through in time. So thank you all for being here today, because we have to keep this tradition alive. There were so many times that there was persecution that we had to hide our medicine. We had to hide our beautiful songs. We had to hide the way that we celebrated, that we cured, that we had our spiritual and divine practice. But now those times are going away, and we're being called to come forward and bring back the old ways, bring back the traditions that kept our families here. We are alive, each one of us, because there were over 4,000 people that had to survive through all of the generations in time for you to be here today. Those are the powers of the ancestors that we call on in traditional and ancestral medicine. Is all of the ways, whether you're from New Mexico, whether you are from the Curanderismo tradition, come and join us in respect and reverence, because I'm sure your roots are similar. Let us be the pathway that you can explore where you come from and the traditional methods that have healed your people for generations. And so this talk today is to talk about the uniqueness of curanderismo in New Mexico. I study with curanderas and curanderos from Mexico, from New Mexico, from Colorado, from one of my maestros is in New York. And so we go around and we share the medicine, but New Mexico is so unique. If you were born here, if you're from here, if you're an implant here, there's a reason why they call it the land of enchantment. Because it's magic, because there are vortices. Everyone always has the urban legend about the vortices in Taos and Chimayo and the power of Santa Fe. Yes, it's true. And we know that because we feel that, and our medicine is cultivated from that magic. And so I'm here today not to tell you all of the things as an expert, because I will never be an expert in all things, but to share my path, my journey, and the lessons that have been taught to me along the way, so that we can continue to carry on this medicine, to have the reverence and the respect that it deserves, and so that it doesn't get hidden in the dark of night anymore. It doesn't just have to go into somebody's family Bible and tucked away under the bed. Now we can sing these songs, we can use these prayers, we can use the medicine as it was intended without fear. And so sharing that, not gatekeeping it, but making sure that we pass it on to everybody in our community with respect. Because you are the medicine. I am not the healer. I am the conduit for you to do the healing that you need to be done. And that's the power of curanderismo. So curar in Spanish is literally to cure. And so curanderismo is the art of curing, of healing, of doing the work. And it's beautiful that in New Mexico, the tradition comes from necessity. My family was implanted in northern New Mexico after Spanish colonization in the early 1600s. That's where my ancestors lie. That's where my medicine comes from. But that means that my people were put there before there was Española, the Allsups in Española. What did they eat? Right? Before there was Santa Fe, the churches, the doctors, the things in Abiquiu and Chama. My people had the trees. My people had the dirt. My people had each other. And that's what we used to survive. Because while I believe that my Spanish ancestors, as well as my Mexican and indigenous ancestors, they were adventurers, they were explorers, and they were promised adventure. They were promised prosperity. And then they were plopped here in New Mexico. And there was water back then, so it wasn't as bad. But they had to make do. They would have a priest come through when they could. They had the main churches that they would spend the time at, but what about the smaller towns? Where were the doctors? Maybe in the big cities. But what happened when your baby got sick in the middle of the night? How would you make that trek into town to be able to get the doctor? If you needed a priest, how long would it take for a priest to come up from the city or to come through to be able to help and support you? In times of necessity, when it was about survival, we became our medicine. And we used the teachings that were given to us by Creator, by God, by Great Spirit, by Mother Earth, by anything that you want to call it, the universal divine. And we cultivated those things and those lessons to make sure that we stayed healthy and whole. So when we didn't have, we found resources to bring that healing and to bring that space. And there are many stories of us, I remember all the way back, of as long as you have Vicks, you have everything. And we think about it now that, yeah, Vicks clears us up, but it's actually the mentholatum. There's a spiritual vibration in mentholatum that helps you heal. Before it was put into a container, this was real. There were leaves that you can go smell. There were the leaves in the aspirin that you could chew, the bark from the willow tree to help your pain. Because you didn't always have access to a doctor. One of my teachers tells me that when his daughters were young, it was the middle of the night, because that's when your children get sick. It was the middle of the night and his youngest daughter got very, very ill. And they didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to take her. And so while he was a practitioner in healing, when it's your own child, everything kind of goes out the door. So what he did is he went to their community healer. And the healer said, give me your chones, your underwear. Give me your underwear, wrap the baby in your underwear, and then use these herbs as remedios. Use these teas, put the onion on her head, allow her to sweat it out. And then when she starts to feel better, you can dress her again, you can bathe her. And he asked her, why the underwear? And she says, because where you hold your energy within your chakras, your solar plexus, that's where the most energy sits, is in that piece of clothing. So we need the urgency of healing your daughter now, and the best medicine that she could have is your power. The power of the energy that you can give her to help her make it through the night. And he did. He wrapped her in his underwear, and he said, good thing he had put on clean ones earlier. But that's how he helped his baby. When there was nothing else, there was no one else. And so that's the beauty of the healing work, is it came from necessity. And the beauty of the Curanderismo here in New Mexico specifically, where we are ancestors in our tradition of, is that there were three main groups, cultural groups, that developed the medicine and the spiritual practices that we have today. Of course, there are other influences that came through time. But typically within Curanderismo, what makes us unique is we had the indigenous, so the northern natives. So that was Mexico and New Mexico, right? Because there weren't borders back then. But we had the indigenous. We had the Europeans, we had the Spanish that came through in their treks and brought their medicine to the people. But we also had African influence because of the slaves that came through New Mexico. And I didn't know until I started studying that there's African influence in a lot of the work that we do. Because those were the dominant cultures that were needed to heal the people, to work in the nights, to do the spiritual practices that we didn't have as readily accessible. And so that's what we blend in to Curanderismo in New Mexico, is a little bit of the Spanish culture, a little bit of the Mexica, the northern native influence, and then a little bit of the African. And so we don't talk too much about where it comes from, but it's just as unique as the Spanish from New Mexico. So if you've heard, Spanish from northern New Mexico is unlike any other Spanish in the world, because of the combination that we had. When the Spanish settlers came and developed their land here, who did they have surrounding them? The indigenous. And so when winters hit, it was like, oh, they didn't put this in the brochure. Like, what do I do? And so they learned symbiotically to rely on each other, to work with each other, to show each other how to plant, how to grow, how to work with the climate that my Spanish ancestors were new to. And so that's why there's so much influence in what we have. But you'll see how consistently it ties in to all of the different beliefs and the work that we use now to help ourselves move through. When systems no longer serve us, we have to become the system that we need. We have to become the medicine that isn't readily available. So Curanderismo empowers us to say that when I have nothing else, I have my elements. I have the 4 parts. You see here, I put my altar up early so that you could see it and kind of poke around. You can see afterwards. But this is my medicine wheel. The medicine wheel is symbolic. It'll always change based on the belief system, based on the tradition, and yes, that is also true. In my belief system and the way that I learned, each color represents so many different things. So like when we called in the directions, the north is our ancestors and our shadow work, where we work with the obsidian mirror. We have the east, where we begin all things. That's when we come in with each of the seasons. We have the south, we have the west, and all of them are symbolic in the work that we do and the reverence that we hold. They're also associated with the 4 elements. So we have earth, we have water, we have fire, and we have air. Each of those elements are brought into our healing traditions. And so I use my huevito to help heal. I use my romero to help heal. I use the wind, the feathers, the incense, the smoke that you smell in here. That's the essence of the copal. We have the candles in the fire. We do fire limpias. So you see the elements here that come from earth, that come from what I can harvest around me. These roses I did not harvest around me. They were on clearance for $2 at Smith's. So I was like, we're going to do something with roses because that's a really good deal. But let's pretend like I grew these at my house. So having those elements here and remembering that even when we have nothing, we have our spiritual practice. We have our divinity and we have ourselves as the medicine that we need. And as long as we can go cultivate some of the elements, find wherever east may be, then we can align with the work that needs to be done. And so within Curanderismo, we work with the 4 elements, we work with the 4 directions, just like the Zia has the 4, each represents the 4 stages of life, the 4 seasons, the 4 times of day, all of those things. That's what's representative to us and how we use the medicine in our work. For example, when I do a limpia, a cleansing, an energetic cleansing, I use each of these elements, and we always start in the east. I face you to the east. That's not the east. I don't know. Let's pretend. There's my black, there's the east. Okay? And so that's where we start because that's new beginnings. So I'm cleansing you of the things that no longer serve and stepping you into that sunrise of that new beginning. And so it's symbolic. And I tell you in our work together afterwards, get up every morning and say thank you to that rising sun. I'm in Albuquerque, so honor me. Say hello to those mountains in the east. Say good morning to them, honor them, love them, sing to them. Because now you're bringing the medicine into your everyday through ceremony, through ritual. And then we also focus on the 4 parts of the body. So the 4 healing systems. So there's 4s in all things that we do. So in the medicine wheel, this helps us remember the 4 elements that we need to maintain for our health and our healing. So our physical body, our emotional body, our spiritual body, and our mental body. And if we do not have harmony within those 4 things, that's when we find disease, dis-ease. Because we're no longer harmonizing within those 4 systems. So when people come to us and ask for the work, we ask them, how are you eating? How are you sleeping? How is your spiritual practice? How's your relationship with your mother-in-law? And then you watch the light, and you're like, oh, cash money right there. But it's true. It's seeing how it comes up and saying, where is it in that space that I can help support you? And that's what I ask my clients. They come in and they do the work, and I ask them, how can I help? How can I serve you today? What is it that you are ready to release that you no longer need to carry forward? What is standing in your way? Maybe it's physical ailments. My body hurts. My joints are just killing me. Okay, my little huevito is going to help with that. I'm going to run the egg over you. We're going to take out some of that inflammation and shift the energy that's been built up in those joints. How is your spiritual practice? Well, I think I should pray a little bit more, but I don't really. Maybe you're holding that energy inside and you're really tense because you're not accessing your spiritual practice. So your physical body is going to pay the price for it. Our physical body is always the last to know. So we ask these questions. How are you feeling emotionally? How is your mental health lately? And everybody is saying it's a tough time. Like, amen to that. It is a tough time. How can I help support you? How can I help you release that which no longer serves? In protection, in reverence, using the medicine that I have in front of me or I don't. And so it's the opportunity to use what we have in those 4 systems to be able to really work together and to know each of us that comes into the medicine, all of you can do the medicine. It's just a level of it. And so all of us have gifts. It's a Christian belief. It's the gifts of the Spirit. There's 9 of them. Within Curanderismo, we believe that you have certain gifts that you may be stronger in. We can do all things if we practice on it. There's hierberas. I'm Gran Mujer de Hierba based on my naming, but I can keep one thing alive, and it's rosemary, and that's because it's pretty resilient. But I have to honor that I am a hierbera because once they are ready, I can do magic with these herbs. Once I have this sprig of rosemary, as long as somebody else got it to this point, now I can shift and I can do magic with it. There's parteras. who are the midwives, who are helping the babies come into this world. That's a lot of like fluids, so I am not there. God bless you all for doing that. We have the hueseros who set bones. That's one thing in New Mexico, that we have access to being an unlicensed practitioner in Curanderismo, but we don't set bones. So as long as I'm not touching your bones, we're good. So there's also the consejera. I am a counselor. That's what I do. The consejera sits with you and says, what is on your heart? What is the emotion I see in your eyes? And we sit and we use psychoanalysis and Jungian theory and all of these other things to actually sit and to have plática, heart-to-heart conversation. How can I support you? What do you no longer want to carry? Where are you hurting? What are the stories that are racing through your mind? And how can I help you release them? We also have espiritualistas, so those who work with divinity and are connected and can hear and have those gifts. I get to work with that also. That's what helps me in doing the work, in sweeping the herbs, in moving the egg, is I get these messages from divinity that help guide me for your highest and greatest good. After we're done working, it goes away. So if you didn't take notes, don't know what to type, but that's the power of it. Who else did I forget? Oh, sobadoras. Some of my best comadres are sobadoras. A sobadora is a massage therapist. And so that's when we touch. We rub, we do ventosas, we do manteadas, which is with the sheet. We wrap with the sheet and we move the body. That's a lot for me. I don't like touching because I pick up a lot of energy, but I can do ventosas. I'm always willing to try it. But there are some who have amazingly healing hands. Tell me you haven't had somebody, not even a full massage, but someone touch you and you're like, whoa, I feel that. I can feel you. Or you have someone give you a massage and you're like, I don't know why, but that was the best massage I've ever had. They can shift energy. They can move. Switch those energy systems. And so those are the general areas that we tend to step into when we're in our specialties. And it's just what comes natural. I just thought everybody heard the things that I heard. I thought everybody saw each other in the way that I can see you. I thought that everybody wanted to sit down and have a heart-to-heart conversation about how shitty your day was. But it turns out it was just me, because those are my gifts. I am a trained social worker. I don't want to do notes. So I am not a clinician. Instead, I am a consejera. I am a curandera. I get to sit with you and ask what's wrong and offer the services and supports to help you get through whatever it is that you're recovering through. And then I don't have to fill out a note. I just write your homework down and cleanse myself. So it's the best of both worlds, of being able to sit and support your people in the way that they need, that they may not always have access to, that there might be financial barriers. And so all of our medicine and what we do is about using what we have, because our bodies know the medicine that we need. This smoke in here that you smell, this is a mix of copal, which is the resin from Mexico, from a tree. We believe that the smoke of the copal is very sacred and cleansing, and it also carries your prayers to heaven. It also has some rosemary, some lavender, and a little bit of lemongrass. I grow it myself, I chop it up, and I make this herb smell, because this smoke is healing and cleansing. This is the air that's healing us and helping us, but it's also creating a sense of memory for you. So when you smell rosemary, your nervous system's gonna calm. When you smell lavender, you're gonna get that sense of cleansing again. We're gonna take you back to that place. When you smell the mix of all of them, you're gonna be like, Elisa's near. I smell her. Where's Elise? But that's what it is. It's using these things that I can then give to you as medicine that you can go take and you can go heal and you can go do the work that needs to be done for your family, because I can't be there at all times. But that's the power of Curanderismo. That is the power of the healing work that we do, is we are simply a conduit. We have done the training, we have collected all of the things so that we can walk you on that path, on that journey of healing, so that you can do the work. You can facilitate the process of reaching out to your ancestors, connecting to the earth, exploring again. And you get to help us in using our gifts. I get so sad. I tell people, if you don't ask me for help, then I don't get to use the gifts that I was given. And so do it for me. That you appreciate me and you want to come and get a sweeping. And if you have a byproduct of feeling a little bit less stressed, let's go with that too. But we tend to do things more for others than we do for ourselves. All right, how am I feeling on time? I think we're getting close to questions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe 5 more minutes and then we'll do some questions.
So, cool. Then we'll talk about remedios because I could go on forever. That'll be fun. So we have items up here that I brought that are common remedios for northern New Mexico. So these are things that you can go out and you can get for yourself. So now we're getting cold season, right? All that upper respiratory, all of the hit that comes out. Do you know that we have, it's New Mexico gold, OSHA. OSHA is so protected that I would highly suggest you do not cultivate it yourself. You find a shaman who cultivates it because they use very specific rules on how they harvest it, when they harvest it, and how to keep it so that it's not over-harvested because it's happening now with white sage and things like that. So you can get it. I get mine from a little grocery store in Cuba, New Mexico. And it's like $8 for a bag. And it lasts, my husband goes through this stuff like water. But this is something you can use it for upper respiratory infections. This is your natural Mucinex. And all you do is chew on the root. It tastes like black licorice. You can make teas, you can make tinctures.
Can you spell?
OSHA, O-S-H-A. And so you can come, you can smell these, you can play with some of these herbs because this is important. This is stuff around you that can help you. Upper respiratory, gordo lobo. Have you seen? It's a tall stalk and it has a beautiful flower on top and then it has these big lamb's ear leaves. That's mullein, that's gordo lobo. So you can make a little, it's like a smudge bundle that I made and you can burn it around your house and it'll help clear out upper respiratory infections. It'll help you be able to breathe again.
The leaves?
The leaves.
Okay. What's it called again?
Mullein, gordo lobo.
That's right. It's very common.
Lamb's ear. I took it to my mom the other day and she said, oh yeah, lamb's ear. You can make teas with it, but be careful because of the little hairs, it'll mess with your throat, so run it through a coffee, so put it in a tea bag and then run it through a coffee sieve as well. Prevalent, the medicine is here around you. We also have rosemary. This is what I'm gonna use later. Sweepings, energy. This clears susto. Susto is a common issue that we have. It's a vexation to the spirit. Susto can be when you step off the curb and like, oops, you stepped wrong, and it kind of shocked you. That can be a susto. A susto can be a car accident. A susto can be a major trauma. So not every susto is trauma, but every trauma is susto. Susto is a vexation. Susto is what got me into the medicine. I had always known that I was part of this. I had always had dreams. I had dreamt about a medicine wheel before I knew what it was. It was always a part of me. I loved Bless Me Ultima. Oh man, I could read that book over and over because it was me. How did you know my story? I wanted to be her so badly. Everybody else was like Shira, Princess of Power, and I was like the curandera making potions. But my daughter, my youngest daughter, was 2, and she started having night terrors. And I went to a healer, and I said, what do I do for my hijita? Because they want to put her on medications, and I refuse. And she says, oh, it's just susto. So what you do is you go home at night, and you get a little bit of rosemary, and you just paint her with it. Let her smell it, sweep it over her, and it's going to clear that susto from her emotional body so that she can sleep again. And the smell is scientifically proven that it calms the nervous system. And so when you have that rosemary, everywhere I go, you will always find me grabbing rosemary, smelling it, feeling it, holding it, because this is my girl. She is always here for me, and she grows. Not as much in northern New Mexico, thank you guys, but I'll get you some. I'll hook you up, don't worry about it.
She's got plenty of it.
Yes. We have the eggs. Mal ojo. Who here's had ojo, has heard about ojo, you probably all have it right now, but ojo isn't always a bad thing, but it's something that we have been told since we were little to protect against. Babies wear coral bracelets. I wear my coral. We wear protections over our heads. The way that we sit with babies, if somebody comes and tells me, oh, your baby's so beautiful. Yes, I know, touch her, please. Because if they touch her, it doesn't allow the ojo to set into her. So I would tell people, oh, touch her little foot. Isn't she so cute? To get that mal ojo, the ojo away, or else that's when babies become colicky. So we rub them down with the huevito, with the romero. It's the best thing to remove the ojo, the susto, these energetic attachments that have been placed on us, not always out of ill will, just because somebody was adoring how beautiful my babies are. Yes, they're beautiful, I know that too. But we protect them. And so when babies would get fussy, that's what we do, we rub them down and stop the ojo. So there's lots of medicine that we can use, that we use in our practice of supporting people. I use the smoke of the copal, I use the rosemary, I use water, I use holy water. And that's what we use. I mean, there may be other things that come in. We use sound, the drums, the rattles to be able to shift energies and to move them. And so the remedies are around us. They're here for us. Rose limpias. Rose limpias are incredibly powerful. I've done them with people and have seen miracles happen. From the roses that I grew, right? But just paying attention to what it is that we have. Garlic, put garlic in your pocket. It keeps the envidia away. All of those that envy you, all of those that don't like you. I think it's because I smell like garlic. But whatever. They tell me that works too. Right? But it's about protecting ourselves. And that's the beauty of Curanderismo, is it's about the healing work. And the persecution is what turned it into brujeria. So always remembering that there is duality in all things. Just like there is day, there is night. Just like there is warm, there is cold. Just like there's wet, there's dry. Just like there is the healing, there is harm that can be done. And so we pay attention to that, but we also pay attention that they're not mutually exclusive. So I always tell people, coming into this work is not easy because of that fear of persecution. You can call me a witch, you can call me a heretic, you can call me whatever you want to call me, but I know in the middle of the night when you're scared, you're going to call me. And that's what matters, is that I can help you step away from those stereotypes by having sessions like this and letting you know that the fear was used here to stop us from using our medicine. But no more. We're taking that away. We're taking back the empowerment and saying, I am my medicine. My earth is my medicine. My people are my medicine. And I reclaim that now because I am my medicine. I'm all that I need. And so connecting you to these spaces, to the work that I do, to my amazing partners here that can support you in all of those ways. But just remembering that there's duality in all things, that they use fear to control. But this stuff has worked for me, so this is what I stand by. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. I want to give time for questions. So we're going to do a little bit of time for questions, and then can I tell about the after? And then what we did, because we are so giving, is we are going to offer some smudgings afterwards. It's not going to be the full process of what we do when we smudge, do a barrida with the herbs and the smoke, but it'll give you a sense of what it is that we do. We'll use the herbs around you. You can call in whatever highest being that you want. This is not religious in any way. It's spiritual. But it can help you shift energy. It can help you release and remove. And then if you really like it, you can reach out to any of us, and we'd love to take the time to sit with you. Do a little bit further. But that'll be outside. So we're going to go prepare for that. But you can also look at the altar, look at the different books that I brought that helped guide me. This stuff you can touch. This is all fine. But if you can leave the altar, just look at it and leave it be, then I would honor that and appreciate that. But before we go, questions? Yes, ma'am.
Do you throw the egg away because it's all the poison and bad stuff?
Yes.
Throw it away or do you leave it?
So the question was, do we throw it away or do we eat it? So there are many cultures, I mean, we don't always have abundance. So I would never eat the egg, but there are times that we do reuse the medicine, like the things on the altar. If we were in a place of so much abundance that I could just toss it out, I would. But that's a good orange. Like, that garlic is perfectly fine. So we continue to use it. But when we use it for medicine, no, we dispose of it. And so the question was, what do we do with the egg afterwards? With the egg and with the herbs, we give them to you as your homework to give them back to the earth. So we tell you to go find a tree, go find a bush, dig a little hole, offer some tobacco, and say a prayer. Take this, which no longer serves me, and turn it into prosperity. Turn it into abundance for me and for my people. Then you cover it up, you hightail it out there, because that's no longer yours. And so we give it away. There are some people that will do egg readings. I don't, because I don't want to open up the energy. I can tell what's going on my own. So, but there are that will do egg readings and things. Whew, I catch my breath.
White tobacco.
White tobacco?
Yeah,
It's just one of the main herbs that we use. It's just one of the sacred plants. So we use tobacco, we use sweetgrass, we use rosemary, there's lots of different sacred plants that you can use. And it's just based on your region and what's been taught to us. So the agave can be sacred, all of the things. And so it's one that's just close to us. So, and it's directly tied to the ancestors. So when I do ancestral work, or before I come to this, I do a little cigarillo to surround myself with tobacco smoke to connect me to my people.
I'm not sure what you mean by oho.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Evil eye?
Evil eye. It's the evil eye, which you'll see the blue evil eye. I don't have any on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know that the medicine is real, because it translates amongst different areas. It's just expressed in different ways.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the evil eye.
Thank you.
Don't you guys be giving it to me now. I know my appeal is beautiful. Okay, this one, and then I'll get you next. Yes?
Is there a particular herb up here that you would recommend for cleansing a space?
An herb for cleansing the space. Yes, there are many. So it's about knowing the vibrations of the herbs. So a lot of people know about white sage. White sage is beautiful for cleansing and smudging your home and yourself, but know that it's going to take you to a neutral vibration. So it's like starting from scratch, which is good. That's fine, especially if you're feeling something negative. But you can also use, what I do is I layer them. So I'll use sage or copal, which clears, and then I use palo santo, which introduces positive energy. And so I'll layer them together. Yes. Oh, I have yours.
What do you use holy water for, and have you ever used holy salt or the dirt from Santuario, and how do you use all that?
I was going to bring my dirt from Santuario, and I didn't. Yes, we use them all. So holy water, I use it in the work. If I feel like I'm being called to use holy water with somebody, I will use holy water. I was doing an egg cleansing with a gentleman, and my husband was helping me because I have to have support. And I was cleansing him, and the egg was shaking, and I turned to my husband, I told him, get me the holy water. And I turned back, and just as I did, the egg jumped out of my hand and popped. But I knew it was going to happen because he was holding so much energy. I could feel him. He was so thick with it that I knew that one little egg wasn't going to be enough. And when it exploded, that's when my husband handed me the holy water, and I poured it on top of the egg to seal that energy until I could clean it. So we use it for that. I use it when I'm doing cleansings. Sometimes some of you all just need some holy water. Like, we're not going to lie about it. And so we can use that too. After I'm done doing the work, I put it on my hands. I use it when I cleanse homes. I put it in the corners. Lots of different things. Yep. What was it? Holy water? Okay. Right.
Are you able to do healing with distance, like energetic healing for people that aren't present?
So are you able to do energetic healings distance? Yes. Yes, I've done it. I've done readings. I've done the work. But there's just so much power in being together. But what we typically do is I can do it with the sitting with you and help you engage. But what is really, really good is if you're from a distance, then I have you mail me your clothes. And then I put out your clothes like I'm working with you. So I tell you that outfit that you wore today, pack it up and ship it to me, exactly as it is. And then I lay it out, and then that's what I heal with. And I'm connecting to you, I'm connecting to divinity, and I'm using that as almost like the roadmap for me. And everyone's different. That's just mine because I have a visual capacity. There was one more here, back here.
So when you say holy water, what exactly do you mean?
Like from the church. So I go to a Catholic church and I pay $5 for some holy water. Because you can't steal the holy water, then it's not holy. No, you gotta pay. But you can go to Catholic churches. Right! But you can go to a church and you can get holy water. Give me 1 second. In the backpack. How do you know which element to use? I use all of the elements, but I'm told which to use more often. So like when we were talking on the road down here, you were telling me a story and I heard burn it down. So that means to me we're gonna start with fire. Sometimes I'll feel the wind around me. Okay, we're gonna use wind. I'll smell an herb. Oh, we're gonna go get some lavender. That's what we need. And so it's trusting your intuition, because once you divine, you connect, it's gonna come. And so gathering the information from there. Thank you.
I was just kind of curious. Both my grandmothers were curanderas from the village of Galisteo. But my grandmother, she was not just herbs. She was also a partera. So, it was whatever the ailment was, including, bringing babies. So, to me, what I see with curanderismo is a lot of herbs, but in those days it was
all things.
And both my grandmothers did it.
Because it was what was needed.
Yep. It was a combination.
About what's needed. And so I'm blessed that I don't have to know everything. I just have to know who to call. But in smaller towns, you just had to know what to do with what to do, and that's how you learned, and that's how you gathered the information. And so it's about following the guidance, and then what it is that we're just naturally gifted at. But, I mean, there are opportunities that I'm a llevera, I'm a partera, but after a while, you do this work so deeply and with so many beautiful teachers that you kind of become a jack of all trades. You become un gran curandera, la grande, which was última in the book, is you become la grande because you kind of have been through it and you know it. Yes, ma'am.
Do you do fertility?
Fertility, so there's a lot of work that can be done with fertility. There's a lot of herbs, there's a lot of womb opening, because when we shut down that chakra, when we shut down that energy space, it can close down the space for the womb. So we can do a lot of work for fertility. There's sometimes that we even tell people, like, as a byproduct, we did some fertility stuff, like stay 10 feet away from your partner for a while, because it's just part of the body system. So that's your sacrum, that's a sacral, that's our creation. And so when we're wanting to open up to creativity, when we're wanting to open up to our divine feminine, we're going to open up that sacrum and really get that flowing. We can do the steams, vaginal steams, help move that space in opening that space up.
It's not for me, I'm 85.
I thought you were excited. Ooh. No judgment, judgment-free zone. Woman, you do you, right?
What was the word that you used for the person who had the healing with touch?
Sobadora?
Sobadora.
Sobadora. So massage therapist. Or someone who does Reiki, but the hands-on. Ventosas, that type of work. Mateadas, yeah. And so it's really big. I didn't touch on it, but it's really big for us to know that when we step into this work, it is a life path. I had to make a resolution that I was going to live my life by the medicine. I no longer curse and drink and party and steal, and I'm in bed by 9:30. But you know what? Like, my spirit doesn't hurt as much, so I'm good. But that's what we talk about. You know, in brujeria, we can say that it's a belief that they're not doing their medicine. They're a practitioner, but they're not working on themselves, so they may pass on things that they may be carrying. Within Curanderismo, the healing practice, we are required to do our own work. I have to do my own healing. I have to talk to the in-laws. I have to do the hard stuff, because it's not fair for me to pass any of that on to you. I am here to help you conduct the medicine, not to then pass on something that we have to deal with, because the universe always balances itself. So yes, we can do the spells and we can do the stuff, but I don't want that juju. I'm cool. Like, I'll do the good stuff. Give me the blessings in abundance. But it's duality, it's all things. So it's the reverence and the work that we put into it to be able to carry it to the community. Yes?
This is going to be odd. You've been flickering, through your presentation, much like the candles.
Yeah.
Are the candles giving you energy?
You guys are giving me energy.
Who you are right now?
Yeah.
How is that happening?
So I'm channeling. And so I wear my huaraches because it helps me connect to the ground. I don't have a lot in between me. But when I came in, I channeled. I said, Spirit, tell me what it is that I need to say. Bring the words to my mouth that these people need to hear, that they deserve to hear. And I open myself up. So when the energy starts coming through, it's a lot. It's a lot coming through my body, and that's why I have to be able to ground while I'm here. But I've been told that I shift. So when I'm doing healing work, I may sound like I'm here, but I'm over there. And so we move around. That's another gift that can be done. I wish it could get me to San Diego or something, but the other side of the room is good too. Yeah, but yeah, we do. We work with the energy and we realize that my altar is not awake until I light my candle. And so it's recognizing that and how energy feeds. This room is round, so the energy is swirling around the room as we're talking and as we're sharing. If it were square, then it would get stuck in the corners and it would give me some relief. But I'm just standing in the swirl of all of your beautiful energy.
Did you see it in color? You see color?
No, I just feel it. Yeah. There was a question here. Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Abby. I'm from Coach Pueblo down the road.
Thank you.
And I came to this session because I feel that we have a lot of commonalities in our healing practices. And I grew up in a very traditional community that has that practice of healing, and then the combination, you have a choice. You go to the hospital or you go to the medicine man or the curandera.
Sure.
And with that being said, I really enjoy coming to these sessions because reaffirms and confirms the old ways of healing, using a holistic approach. And the connections to Mother Earth and Father Sky and the spiritual essence of it all. And I love it.
Yeah.
And that's how we have survived as people.
Very true.
Energy, people's energy, your energy is good for all of us. So when we're in the kiva, like this brown building here, that sacred space is not only there in the kiva, but what exudes from there.
Yes.
Faith. When you go to a curandera, when you go to a medicine man, when you seek medical help from the doctor, it comes from you to have that faith that you're going to get well.
Yep.
And it's not only you individually, you're connected, family, community. In these times, we're all unsure of what's happening in the U.S.
Yeah.
But within our own communities, with our own relatives, we keep each other's healthy. And I like the idea that you use that humor.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yes.
Miracles.
Yes.
It's belief. And when you believe really fully, and you have a room like this full of people, and they have that belief and that faith, miracles do happen.
It's true. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's beautiful, because it was that. It was the creation together that we made this medicine. And now we get to show it, and that's what you see here, is we have some of the native elements, but we also have the saints. We have the angels. I have Our Lady of Guadalupe up here, because that's northern New Mexico. That's New Mexico, because we have to have our saints to remind us, to stay in line. But it's the merging of all of those, of the traditions that came from the pueblos, of the places that we could hold your medicine when it had to be hidden. How we could hold and share that with you, and you've shared with us. And so it is. We are the community, and it's in our joy, it's in our healing, it's in our wellness that we create rebellion. So no matter how hard these times get, you are your medicine, and your medicine is your rebellion. Your joy, your laughter is your rebellion. So stand up against anything that doesn't align, these heavy energies, and know that when we come together, we can't be held back. Because your 4,000 ancestors, your 4,000 ancestors, your 4,000, we already got an army. And so we fear nothing that comes ahead of us, because we know who stands behind us. And so hold that with the medicine, that you have been given everything that you need. There are just people like us who get to connect you to it again when you've lost your way. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. O Mateo, amen. And we'll see you in a little bit.
So also in our tradition, it is an exchange of energy. I am so thankful that this woman brought this talk to my neighborhood and to all of you here. And so we're going to thank her for that. In our tradition, we always exchange energy for anything that is given to us, and she just gave us a lot of time and energy. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Luz, paz, amor, conciencia y armonía. O Mateo.
Oh, Mateo.
Thank you.
So much. Oh.
Luz, paz, amor y armonía. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Okay, we'll start a line for gifts here. This is beautiful. Thank you. It's about the energy exchange. So if you do go see a practitioner, if they don't ask for money, give them something, because you value what you exchange. I ask for personal significance. I do put $100 for the tourists and things, but I ask you to bring me something of spiritual significance, because if you value it and you give it to me, then you believe what I give you is of value. And so honor your practitioners around you. Step into the healing space and see what you can offer them. So thank you. Okay, so we're going to do smudging outside. If you'll give us a few minutes to get set up. You're welcome to continue to look at the altar, to poke through any of the books,
Really good stuff. Healing with dirt is amazing. It's Chimayo medicine and culture. So you can look at those, and we'll be back in a moment. Okay?